Oh, good evening. Time is 6:35, 6. Okay, no, 34. Now, I invite you. And on 25th of February 2026 evening, um, almost sunsetish. It's kind of dark. And at this time, what the pubic symphysis area, the region in front of the pelvis, feels like is different from how it was in the morning when again at 6:30, between 6:30 to 7, I did another live, and the physiological difference between morning and evening, I would have to listen to that live to see what was different in emotional states, attitude, how's the physiological behavior, who was there in the room, how was what we may or may not have eaten. Yeah, some may not even have had the breakfast. And so, how does all of that affect what showed up in the life? And now it's evening. Plants are just ready to go to sleep, yeah, or have some have slept. Animals, birds, they tend to wind down. Humans are, we are not winding down. No, we are not winding down. Humans are not doing that, yeah, because they got to prop yourself up until sleep time, which may be around 10:30, 11. Some people are awake until 12. So we square it and you face it. You work it through. So we are a different kind of creature. So we can't just be natural because then we have invented light to be able to then also work during the evening, which it's taken a lot of cycles of evolution before we could do that. Otherwise, moonlight and you can't see, and there'll be witchcrafty. Yeah, to be able to manage with the different challenges that's there after sunset. And over time, now we have more humanity cross boundaries. Or other than um, dark practices, now we have a little more light practices going up to uh, the moment you switch off the light. Yeah, that's taken some work. Now, while all of this is happening, we people who have a body that's human have a human experience. Physiologically, we are going through also our ancestral experiences after sunset, our body functions, and newer informations of what happens when there is light. And then there is artificial light, but it's still light. Yeah. So the our body's intelligence is now informed by sunlight and other than sunlight, which may be in different colors, and they may be of a particular frequency, energy, vibration, and more same than the sunlight, which could be changing according to there's a cloud passing, there's a wind. So differential um, appreciation of sunlight and the different wavelengths from there, and more fixed light. So in light of all of these differences, in the evening when we turn on the light, or if you're in the day you've been sitting in a dark room and you've had to turn on the light, our body remains the common factor across day, night, what have you. As the experiencer, as the canvas, and an alive canvas at that, to appreciate how things are, cannot speak, is actually speaking its own language. It's body language, not like when you're folding your arms, it means this. If you're scratching your chin, it means this. No, this is body's own language. And it could be through a little discomfort, a little pain, or a little contraction here, a little relaxation here, um, telling its own story. And it is information technology. Yeah. So a lot of information going through through the details, so the tissue memory. We all have a human body. Those who have a human body have a human body, and each person have their own unique experiences depending on what's playing in their movie theater. Okay, the screen, the body as an alive movie theater screen. Now, the region of the pubic symphysis, or the region in front of the pelvis where the two bones of the pelvic girdle, kind of. It's like a case, like you would wear a bracelet, which has then an opening kind, or you can snap it together. So about the pubic symphysis is one of the snaps. Yeah, like you would snap a watch or a bracelet. Yeah, and this region has a certain tension. Snap has a tension. Yeah, according to how well or how loose it is. So now I invite you to bring your attention to the region in front of your pelvis, and I invite you to sit down so that we are having a common experience. If you're standing, walking, twisting, there we're talking about a range of experiences, and then I will not be able to talk to a common factor. There are already too many variations. So I invite you to sit down so we can talk to one stabilized variable. From a sitting posture, how does the pubic symphysis feel? Okay. And then I invite you to bring your attention to any sense of tension about the front of your pelvis. Now, why do I say tension? Is because bones that have snapped would have a certain tension. And then there are soft tissues, muscles, skin, different kinds of tissues. Bone is relatively hard. About the pelvis, about the pubic symphysis, not entirely bony. It's a little soft, not as hard as the thigh bones. Yeah, thigh bones are some of the really hard ones. Yeah, not as hard as that. Kind of soft. And so, any pressure experienced would also have a certain theater. It's more like a bony theater. Yeah, has a certain pressure effect on this um, pelvic pubic symphysis bony structure. Softish bony structure. Yeah. So when you're sitting, if it's like a hard bone, you would have a tough moment sitting. And because it's kind of soft and can slightly adjust, you can sit, you can also twist without you going through a painful moment in moving any direction. Yeah. So you see how intelligent our body is, maintains a certain softness. So you can twist. You can also, uh, put your weight on one leg and have a lopsided bum posture, and the same pelvic girdle adjusts for all of these movements. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do that if it was so fixed. Yeah, and then there are soft joints about the pubic symphysis, cartilaginous kind of joint. Yeah, which then allows for a little bit of tension and friction and a little bit movement. Yeah, which then it's like our knee joint or our elbow joint, which has cushioning, which then allows for a little bit of fluid movement. But this is more a little bit like your ear tissue. Your earlobes it's not bony, it's a little cartilaginous, but something like that. You have different degrees of uh, density about the cartilage. Yeah, which then allows for friction and to cushion the friction. Otherwise, you would have a tough moment. Yeah. Now, so much of mention about the front portion of your pelvis. And this region also happens to be where males just about have their penis, or the female, you would think your female urethral, no, urinary excretory system, male or female, yeah, around. You're talking about soft tissues here. So people tend to pay attention to the front portion of the pelvis in relationship with urinary concerns. They may not have much reason to think about the bone there. Yeah, or how is the pelvic structure held in place? You have your apparatus, you do your stuff, and then you go about your daily activities. Yeah. So the front portion of the pelvis is for, well, to for urination or for sexual concerns. Yeah. What else is there for? What is a face for? What is a leg for? So we may be a little, yeah, given that, what's there to think about it? Kind of attitude about a different parts of a body. Yeah. It's when you pay attention to the details and go beyond the obvious reasons that you begin to see a lot more under the surface. That's like tip of the iceberg. Yeah. You think this is what it's, so it's like a just a little iceberg, just a little body part. And then you have the entire iceberg, which then once you begin to kind of melt a little, warm up to what it is, you might see it's a mountain, not an iceberg. And then there is layers and layers. Yeah, it's like it may not be just a hill, maybe an actual mountain. And then mountain don't just stand on nowhere. Yeah, it's not like standing on a stick. So you have a base. We haven't even begun yet. Yeah, we got so much to do. But awareness of what is there in the front of your pelvic region. Yeah, having preconceived notions, your nerves may be having a little moment as they are little as you're being a little aware and then checking out what's okay, nerves and then muscles, and there are other thing else also. So while I'm talking, your conscious, subconscious, unconscious, supraconscious processes are all at different levels of work. Yeah, different aspects of your these four states of mind body relationship is kind of inquiring for okay, it's not just sexuality, not just urinary concerns. What else could be there? So a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of inquiry. You can feel, can't feel because your nervous system may not be as much innovated. So what, bone? Yeah. So it'll be like if you're having an internal dialogue and your the tissue is about the front of your pelvis would have a um, mind like you sometimes listen chick 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 in your head, all kinds of conversation, that such kind of layers of conversation would be going on about the front of your pelvis because different tissues will be having their own inquiry. Dude. Yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah, like chatbots, different computer, many software open, they would have their own chatbots and they talk amongst each other is what I heard. It's an interesting conversation that's going on in a computer, in a server, I heard. So if you consider a body to be like a many, I can't say computer networks, but different information management systems. Yeah. And really sophisticated organic at that. Yeah. Oh, it even goes to birth and death cycles. Yeah. And if you're maintaining it, it lets you know. If you're not maintaining it, it also lets you know. So it's an interesting chatbot also. Yeah. Cells, tissues, organ system, having a nice little conversation. If you can listen to the chatter, yeah, and not just about your head. I'm talking about the region in the front of the pelvis. So brain like pelvic brain. You also have thigh brain, and you have knee brain, and you have calf brain, and you have elbow brain. Which part of your body brain? Yeah, it's an intelligent system. When you're not aware, it's like you having a phone, like a super duper phone, and you're only using it to make calls. Yeah. So there's a lot of syllabus to cover about what you're caring about day and night, not just a bag of meat. No, boy, that would be severe reductionism and not in a way that is encouraging or have you feel alive. No wonder people will be going about surviving life when you don't know what you have. Okay. I can attempt to make conversations with people. If somebody interacts, they say hello, then I talk with them. Otherwise, I'm talking to a screen, I'm talking to a live space. And I post this on Mighty Radio, my podcast. I post this on YouTube. So I see numbers there that somebody listened to it. And I know there are human beings or a bot, I don't know, which will listen to it. And so I'm not speaking into a void. Yeah, like shunya, like nothing there, space. So if I don't say it, during 2 years of the pandemic, I tried doing these lives. Some people came, some people didn't. But at some point, I was thinking, yeah, people, it's making sense, not making sense, engagement rate and all of that. Kind of stopped. And then I had the thought, She used to come live, and now she's not. She also stopped off. Yeah, so during 2 years of pandemic, I was figuring out how best to make this available. So now I'm continuing this. Yeah. So whether or not somebody can understand, my speaking makes a form of yoga available. It's like I'm Sage Bharadwaj. Yeah, introducing yoga all fresh. So how would he market it? If it's a he or a she? Yeah. How would Bharadwaj? It's more like a flag. Yeah, discovered. Okay, kind of. Yeah. When you're going to say, I've discovered something, and then you need to tell to people such that you are more interested, engaged by what is available through yoga. Like I've discovered yoga all brand new, and you got to experience the benefit of yoga to have the benefits of yoga. And there are layers and layers of it. It's like, yeah, tip of the iceberg or the cherry on top of the cake, if you can call it a cherry. If you're only seeing the stem of the cherry, yeah, if at all that. So it's like that. So I've been saying people who practice yoga, it, their experience seems to be a little like cough syrup. But I'm not going to go there. Yeah. So I'm just talking about yoga. How would I introduce yoga? So I'm making these lives. Those who are listening, who are benefited, when you let me know you're benefited or any of this is making sense, life seems simpler, easier, then I know how else can we make several layers of this available. Right now, I'm in different stages of enriching the courses that I'm making on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. LEARN dot DYNAMICSTILLNESSES.com. There's also my website, www.dynamicstillnesses.com, where content that I've been developing over the years have formed many pages. And now I'm reformatting it all over again. So there is two home pages. So, you know, something that has been forming over many years, if you have to update it, and you can't just erase what you wrote in the past to update the new content, because this is like history and herstory. Yeah, it's like a historical um, document on a website, and you can't just erase it because none of those sentences formed overnight. Yeah, and if somebody would like to see the history of this work, how did this work develop, you will find traces of it on my website. And there are many pages updated. I was thinking, okay, this one sentence, we will remove the other thing as we're updating it. But no, it's looked like a how did technology develop over time? You will find many sentences there. Yeah. How did original humane intelligence facilitation take shape across, okay, my website? There's YouTube also has so many um, videos, right from the first video to now what I'm putting up on it. It is at at the rate um, MCAPS Meristem Intelligence. Okay, MCAPS 850. Okay, yeah, no space. Meristem Intelligence MCAPS 850. That's a YouTube. So um, those who are checking out what am I talking about? How does this work show up? You would have documents along those um, handles. YouTube has right from the first video. When I put up Instagram also, and Instagram I have four um, accounts. Yeah, each for kind of the four values that makes medicine intelligence: breathe, heal, love, live. Yeah. So how you can't put it all together. It's like four Vedas. Yeah. And you can't just put it all together in one profile because I did. I started with that. Then I discovered there are it's four types of content. You could get so confused with the qualities and different. It's like you're having a buffet. If you're going to put it all together in one pot, yeah, you need their own appreciation spaces, appreciation spaces. And then I have these four brand values, and they are in 10 trademarks. Yeah. So there is um, medical learning. Some of them have medical learning. Some of them are teaching learning, what you can teach, I mean, what you can learn, which is other than medical learning. Well, all of them have an online presence. Yeah. So, so um, what you learn through online, what you learn through one-to-one learning, and what you learn as a medical health maintenance practice gives different values. So, why is all of this important? A lot of people are doing all different kinds of circuses, and I'm doing my different kinds of circuses too and living life in the multiverse. Yeah, and I discovered a human being is designed, a human body being is designed to live in life in the multiverse. And it's a conglomerate science that I call conscience, conglomerate science, conscience. And conscience is not so much in discussion. People talk in terms of consciousness, and they don't much talk in terms of conscious, subconscious, unconscious, supraconscious. Okay, several fine details. Now, how is all of this related with the cubic synthesis? Yeah, just like we have a joint between artificial intelligence and our human intelligence, original intelligence, because there are several, even machine learning is also attempting to capture different aspects of what it means to be, it's not just to support human intelligence, of course, to live intelligently. So there's a certain joint, and on this surface, this um, screen across which you may be listening to this, is a certain um, mm, connect point, a user interface. You press a button, an audio plays, yeah, for which the user, the screen needs to have the software where there is a button that you can then click through either keyboard or through your touch uh, face interface. Now, our pubic symphysis is similarly having a little snap here, and if you can feel any sense of softness, warmth, tension about the front of your pelvis, you are in some way having a little um, user interface, so to speak, between the outside of your body and the insides. And you have many surfaces about the front of your pelvis and many folds of skin. Yeah. And that might give you a range of emotional experiences, a range of thoughts, which is not otherwise possible. Try paying attention to the fingers on your hands. They would invoke a different set of emotions, thoughts, physical experiences than about the front of your pelvis. If you can appreciate the difference here, and you are a little more aware of the region in front of your pelvis, we have met a certain objective, which is also about warming up to this area of your body. And if you're aware, you are a little more warming up to some of the benefits of Nirbeeja Yoga, because I've covered a lot of things here, but awareness is at least, and you slightly warming up to appreciating this area of your body, the front of your pelvis, um, while there may be a range of emotions, but appreciation, and then several layers further to go, because we tend to also sometimes go through traumatic experiences. But if you're not appreciative of what those good and bad experiences are, you don't know what they're already making available, what they're already doing in your present experience of living. And if you don't know what you already have, if you don't appreciate what you already have, good, bad, ugly, what have you, how would you have anything better? How would you know it's better? How do you know what you are working towards is not something worse than what you already have? Though you think it may be better, how do you know it's not something worse? Without you appreciating what you already have, good, bad, ugly, worthy, what have you, you could have complaints, But in all of this complainty stuff and comparison and competition and all that stuff, you miss out on the benefit of the beauty of what you already have. And then we got several layers to cover. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been of value to you. You like something more? Join my community. We will have conversations and layers of learning from there. So this is original humane. This is original humane intelligence facilitation by Meristem Intelligence. Yeah, concept and enterprise. And we have four kinds of yoga. Nirbeeja Yoga is one of the kind of yoga from Meristem Intelligence. There is three other. You are interested to know what they are? Join my community. You cannot cover all of them. It's like four kinds of Vedas. You don't cover big syllabus in like a 30-minute time frame. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day.